social media has totally changed my life, not just from the money and patience it's brought in and the ability for me to serve, but it's allowed me a lot of freedom and flexibility to do what I want when I want, which is really the most important thing in my opinion. And of course you heard Dr. Osborne and Bedros talk about that today. Is this too loud or is this okay? It's okay? Okay, perfect. So I'm here to present some of my best strategies for you today. So I want to make sure you write everything down. And this is going to apply to you if you're currently in practice or if you're just starting a practice. This is, because I'm a chiropractor, I was immersed early on since 2005, back when MySpace, of all things, was pretty popular. Anyone remember MySpace? Okay. I was building my practice using MySpace in 2005. There weren't any manuals or video tutorials back then, so I just got really good at building the practice, and then I started getting a lot of chiropractors, medical doctors, and other business professionals that wanted to know exactly what I was doing, and then I kind of accidentally stumbled into consulting. But what I'm going to give you today is what I call the blueprint for attracting 2 to 3 times more patients from social media in 2014 without spending any money on advertising. And we're going to turn your laptop into a new patient machine that allows you to serve more, achieve your desired practice growth, resulting in more income and ultimately freedom and contribution. If we're not connected, write these 2 down too. You can go to facebook.com/Matthew J. Loop. That's my fan page. And click the like button there. And you can also check out my Blogging Success Blueprint. I've got a free 39-page Blogging Success Blueprint that shows you everything you need to do to set up a high-ranking WordPress blog that Google absolutely adores. And not only that, I show you how to create the content, but more importantly, how to distribute the content. Because the reality is, you can have the best blog post, video, article, press release in the world, but if no one knows about it, it doesn't matter. So distribution is really key. So that's what you'll learn. Make sure you download that at dcincome.com. My blog is actually at dcincome.com/blog. You're going to hear me reference that quite a bit in this training. I know I only have 50 minutes or so with you today, so I'm going to fly. But I have a confession, and I've developed this rare, unique ability, and it's one of the most sought-after abilities that I've seen or that I've been requested from chiropractors and other professionals worldwide. It's one of the most important skills I've ever developed, and that's the ability to generate patients and revenue on demand from the internet. You heard Dr. Osborne and Bedros talk a little bit about it today, but my goal is to show you the exact same thing. So if I could show you how to reliably duplicate this system so you could get more patients, more revenue, and more freedom, let me see a show of hands. How many would find that valuable, obviously? All right, so today we're going to be covering how to turn the internet and social media into a new patient blueprint that you couldn't turn off even if you wanted to, how to build social proof very quickly so you're the #1 choice, whether you're a chiropractor, medical doctor, or specialist in your area. There's a specific formula for building social proof. I'm going to share that with you. Also, how to at minimum triple the amount of targeted traffic you're getting from social media. Does anyone here know their traffic numbers? So for example, do you have Google Analytics on your website? Let me see a show of hands if you have some type of analytics program on your website. All right. Google Analytics allows us to track how many people go to the site, but it also allows us to track where they came from. Did they come from Facebook? Did they come from YouTube? Did they come from Twitter? You name it. That's really, really important. So make sure you have that on your website. We're also going to discuss better strategic marketing and implementation that gives you a shortcut to fast practice growth. How to dominate the web and position you as the go-to chiropractor, medical doctor, or specialist in your area. We're going to also discuss how to grow your Facebook fan page numbers at light speed. I'm going to give you a blueprint that's resulted in some pretty high numbers. Also, the right way to follow up with potential new patients on social media. Most doctors just don't do this. And probably the most important lesson is how to get more people off of social media and into your office. It's one thing to be busy on Facebook. It's another thing to actually take them from Facebook into your office and much more. What the information will do to you conservatively, if you apply this today, you should expect an extra 10 to 15 new patients per month without necessarily doing a lot. My goal is to help you create systems in your office that you can either have running on autopilot or your CA or assistant can facilitate these for you. And it'll allow you to get your message of health to exponentially more people than you ever thought possible. The internet is a vast way where you can reach more people than just doing, per se, something offline in the local community. And these strategies, of course, have the potential to bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue in the long term. Now, if you followed me for a while, you notice in my presentations, to keep you engaged, I like to ethically bribe my audience. Because one, I believe in abundance mentality, and whatever you give, you receive. And two, the fact is, that this information has changed my life. It's so powerful, so I want to keep you engaged. So what I have here is I've got a $100 bill in my pocket. And what I'd like to do, if you'll permit me, is I'd like to put this $100 bill in this golden egg. Does that sound fair? Yes? Okay. And, but in order to do this and make it work, I really need you to give me a big, ooh, yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. So let's do. Let's amplify that times 2 this time. Let me hear a big, ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. All right. And we'll just throw that out there. So when you listen to me, you know, you get paid too, right? So, but the bottom line is this has changed my life. I want you to be very close and attentive. And if I have to ethically bribe you, I'll do that, all right? So who am I? I graduated from chiropractic school 2004. I kind of shared with you a little bit about my story last time, you know, about the MySpace. I founded the CEO of DCIncome.com, which to date is the world's largest social media training company for chiropractors. I've also founded Automated Social Networking, which is a done-for-you service for small business professionals. Since 2005, I've trained thousands of doctors, professionals, and entrepreneurs how to leverage social media to build their brands, to build their businesses, and a real income through internet marketing. I mean, you can Google me to find any accolades or accomplishments. I do a lot of speaking at different events around the country, but I've been immersed since 2005. That's when MySpace was taken over. I was spending 8 to 10 hours per day using this stuff because I felt there was a trend going on, and I wanted to position. And I've sold millions from the internet. I speak at a lot of different conferences. And I built a culture in my local community, which is what I'm going to share with you how to do. It's one thing to position yourself as the expert, but you also want to be able to build a very tight-knit following that does know, like, and trust you. And also, it has enabled me to become one of the highest paid social media revenue strategists in North America. So over the years, I've invested a lot of money in me just because your network equals your net worth. And like Dr. Osborne was mentioning today, if you want to be in that elite category, you've got to surround yourself with mentors. So I'm a very big believer in that. Now, I didn't always grow up successful. Of course, I never had any free handouts. My story was pretty bad at one time, but social media really stepped in and took care of that. But let's get started. Why should you master internet and social media marketing? Quite simply because in no other place can you connect with as many targeted people in such a short amount of time as you can on Facebook, Twitter, you know, Google Places, or YouTube. It's like flipping a switch if you know how to do it right. Plus, you can be very, very effective within your marketing, save time, money, energy, and effort. Social media marketing myths. Some doctors still think about this stuff, so we need to address it right off the bat. All traffic is created equal, or having a website is the same as proactive marketing. How many doctors have a website here? Let me see a show of hands. Okay. How many proactively market that website? So do you do proactive things? Okay, 1, 2. Not a lot. So having a website or having a Facebook fan page is great, but we need to bring people and traffic there. Traffic is not created equal. Social media is not kid stuff. How many people have heard social media marketing is unprofessional? Okay, quite a few. Well, if the President of the United States still uses it, I mean, I think that it's how you position yourself, right? So it's all about positioning. I'm going to share with you some professional ways to position yourself today. Social media marketing takes a lot of time. Some people say that, but if your strategy sucks, it does. I'm going to share with you more of a shortcut today, so you'll be able to fast track there. Social media marketing changes every other week. That's a common myth. It really doesn't. There are certain foundational strategies that have always worked. Some new strategies do come along, and when they do, I typically update you with those. So don't get necessarily preoccupied into or sucked into shiny object syndrome. And another myth is I don't need to be using social media this year. We as a profession in the medical community, whether you're a medical doctor, chiropractor, you have to stop marketing like it's 1999. As your patients evolve, you must evolve, or else you risk looking outdated. It's kind of like when business owners, 20 years ago, if you didn't have a Yellow Page ad, you were looked at as a little suspect by people that actually went in there. Same thing now on Facebook or Twitter, all these sites. If you don't have an overwhelming presence on them, people are less apt to trust you because once they hear your name, what's the first thing they do? They Google you. They try to find reviews. They look on Facebook. And if you're not all over the place, you're really setting yourself up for a lot of skepticism that you don't really need off the bat. So very, very key. When you use social media, you don't have to chase patients anymore. You start to attract them. Now, what I'm going to do, because I know my time is limited, I'm going to save Pinterest till the very end if we have time, but I'm going to go right now into Facebook real fast. So let's see here. All right. Let me see a show of hands. How many people have a Facebook account? Okay, about 80% of the room. That's good. The other 20% open one today. Facebook is larger than most countries, and most of the membership comprises adults over the ages of 30. So this is in your primary demographic for your practice. Your grandmother is probably there, in fact. So it's very easy to connect and build relationships. Traffic generation is very simplified. There's only a few ways to get referral traffic from Facebook. You can either pay for it or you can earn the traffic via free media. It's getting a little bit harder. We'll talk about that in terms of what are the best ways to generate free traffic from Facebook. And you can go viral very fast if you have a strong message. So we talked about the organic, free and earned, business page likes, shares, comments, check-ins. The paid is the Facebook advertising that you see on the right-hand side as well as in the newsfeed now. We don't have time to get into the advertising, but as Bedros was mentioning before, like him, I spend thousands of dollars on their paid platform every month because it can be insanely profitable for your office if you know what you're doing. I've got an entire training on that in Social Media Elite, one of my flagship programs. Set up a personal account if you don't have one. That's step number one. And then you're going to set up what's called a business fan page. And once you set up your business fan page from your personal account, you're going to title this page. Your title is very, very important. And I know you as a doctor, you might be tempted to title the page. It could be your name or it could be the name of your practice, which is a great idea. But if you are new into your community, you can do what I did. And this was, I want to say 2006 or 2007 maybe. A lot of people weren't searching for me online, and I knew that based on the Google Keyword Tool. You can go to the Google Keyword Tool, find out how many people are searching different keywords. So I thought, how can I position myself where people are already searching? Put myself and my message where the traffic was. So I knew people were searching for chiropractors in Lilburn, Georgia. So what I decided to do is I titled my page Chiropractor Lilburn, GA, and then I put my name after it. You could Google Chiropractor Lilburn, GA right now, and you'd probably still see that listing on the first page of Google. It usually hovers around number 1, number 2, but I don't have to do any fancy SEO tricks or gimmicks to make that work. Facebook naturally ranks high on Google, so you want to set yourself up for success initially. That's a very, very key strategy if you haven't set up a Facebook fan page. If you have, I'm not going to tell you to set up another one just because it's a pain in the ass having to manage 10 different fan pages. And ideally, if you don't have it set up, then you can easily use that strategy to rank high on Google and start to siphon off traffic for free to your website. Does that make sense? Say yes. All right, good. So, oops, let's see here. Once your fan page hits 25 fans, go to facebook.com/username. Okay? What that will do is that will allow you to select what's called a vanity URL. And a vanity URL is just where you can put keywords in the Facebook your Facebook website address. Like I showed you before, facebook.com/Matthew J. Loop. That is my fan page. For this particular fan page, though, what I decided to do is if you go to facebook.com/Lilburn Chiropractic, I've got the keywords in the website address which I selected, which just helps increase my SEO and ranking on Google. So the title is important, but the keywords in the website address are as well. You'll also want to have a custom direct response landing page. This doesn't have to be on Facebook anymore because traffic is very, very cheap if you understand what you're doing. You could have this on your website, but as Dr. Osborne was mentioning before, you got to have some type of landing page and squeeze page. Give away a free report, 5 questions you must ask before seeing a thyroid specialist or before seeing a chiropractor. Give valuable information, answer commonly asked questions that you get in your office, and think of questions that people should be asking. That's really the most powerful time to overcome objections when they're more subconscious in their mind, when they don't consciously think to ask you. So you always want to preemptively go and create this report, answer the objections, and naturally it positions you as the leader. Have a laptop in your office, get patients to log in to their Facebook account and like your page. It's free, it doesn't cost you any money, and you can even do that from your tablet. If you see 100 patients a week, 200 patients a week, you can really ramp up your Facebook fan page numbers very, very quickly just by doing this alone. You can have some type of contest as well. Totally up to you, but it's an easy way to get a lot of traffic from your current patients onto your Facebook fan page. If you've got an email list, you can always invite them to join as well.